In this video, I have the room slightly dim so that I can show you the new Series 5 Apple Watch and the always-on display. And you can actually activate the always-on display just by covering it with your palm like that. And then this is how it will look default. It never really blacks out, which is something that I really like, and I've actually complained about in the past. The fact that prior Apple Watches would just be black, when you don't raise it up to look at it like this. So I like the fact that there's always something to look at on the display, and it just looks better than having it be completely blacked out. So you can tap on it twice to bring up the display, to turn on the watch from the always on position, because it will display differently. So depending on the watch face that you're using, when you put it on the always on display, it will you won't see a seconds hand, but it will update every minute, so the clock will always be still accurate to the minute anyway. And some of the features and backgrounds and stuff will also turn off as well, to save battery and stuff like that. It has a new technology in the screen that enables the refresh rate to go down to once every second instead of 60 frames a second. So this is the 44 millimeter Nike version of the Apple Watch Series 5, and I've got it on kind of a white sport band, but I have plenty of other bands as well. And the Series 5 is pretty much the same as the prior Series 4 in most all respects in terms of the bigger screen and the screen quality. The only difference mainly is the always-on display now. And they also added one other difference, and that is the addition of a compass app. So let me go to that here. If I go up to, and I have this set to display by alphabet, by grid, you can set that. So I go to compass, and there you go. You can kind of see where north is, which is the red, and south is the white. And then as you move it around, you can kind of see, it's a compass. Pretty cool. And I'll show you, they have a few different faces too. I'm not going to show you all the faces, but this is one I think that's pretty new. I think it's called California. Then, you still have Mickey Mouse, and he still does talk when you tap on it.
It's 7:55. Good morning, pal.
So that's pretty cool. I like the black and white Mickey. It's just a little bit more nostalgic. Let's see what happens when you go into the sort of screen off mode. You can do that by putting your palm over the screen. So normally when you're not raising the watch up to look at the time, this is what it'll look like. So that you can see the hands, the minute and the hour hands are sort of illuminated. Everything else is kind of dim. And this is kind of nice, like if you're in a meeting or something, or on a date, on a first date or something, you don't want to raise your wrist up to look at the time, but you might want to just glance down at your watch, just very kind of the corner of your eye, and just kind of see what time it is, and that's kind of nice. I just like the fact that the screen is not totally useless and blank, at all times on the Series 5. Let's see, whoops. So this right here is one of my favorite looks or faces because it has a lot of information on it at once. You can also put your little monogram here. So I've got my initials there, but I've got the UV index on the top left, and this can all be shuffled around however you like it. I've got the temperature weather right here on the top right. I've got the stock market here on the bottom right. I've got the noise decibel meter. Let's activate it. I just tapped it by activating it. I've got the noise decibel meter here on the left, my iMessages in the middle, the battery on the left middle, and then the date on the right middle. And all that stuff is clickable and will open up, different apps and stuff like that. So this is a very useful look. So this is it when it's not active. You can kind of see some of the stuff, like the decibel meter on the bottom left goes inactive. But then when you activate it by tapping it twice or by raising it up to your wrist, then all of a sudden the animations are active and it gets a little bit brighter. One of the things that I don't like about some complications, or some faces, is that they go like this one. When it goes dim, see, it totally changes color. So it's like black there. And then when you raise it up to your wrist, it kind of turns on. That one is very similar to the prior versions of the Apple Watch in that the screen would look almost blank, and then it would kind of come on, when it's not blank. So I kind of like the ones that don't change a lot, whether it's in always on mode or always off mode. And on this one, I used to have a white background, white dial, but I changed it to black so that, when it's in always on mode, it doesn't look that different. So like for instance, this right here is the always on mode. So the screen will always look like this. And then when I raise it up to look at it, it gets a little bit brighter. So, you know, but it doesn't change that much. So that's kind of one of the things that I like about it. Here's one of my favorite ones just for simplicity right here. It says it's 8 o'clock right now, and there's pretty much no other information on the screen. So if I just want something where I just want the time, I'll sometimes switch to this one because it's just, I don't know, I just kind of like it. It's very simple. And of course you can change all the colors for all this stuff as well. I don't know what you call this one, but I like the font and the simplicity of it. It's a short video just showing the main new feature of the Apple Watch Series 5, the always on display. I really enjoy it, and I think it's definitely a good upgrade. And just as an aside, I never buy the Apple Watch when it first releases because there's always invariably a little bit of a discount a month or two later. And I was able to get this one at a discount. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind. They do get discounted at various places like Amazon and B&H, yeah, you know, a month or two later after they are released. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.